Hi, I'm Jesse May, and welcome to the fourth heat of PartyPoker.com Late Night Poker Ace, where we aim to find the best amateur tournament player in the UK. All the movers and shakers are here, so let's get the cards in the air and meet the players.
In seat 1, 25-year-old Simon Jones from Watford. Simon is a sports science lecturer in Hammersmith and West London College. He's been playing online poker for 12 months. Seat 2, compliance analyst Hung Luke from Ealing in London. Hung is currently learning ballroom dancing with his partner. Can he waltz his way through tonight's heat? In seat 3, 44-year-old Sean Ridge from Letchworth, Hertfordshire. Sean is an electro player and regularly plays poker with his colleagues during his lunch hour in the works canteen. In seat 4, civil servant Gordon Murray from County Armagh. Gordon started playing poker on a visit to Las Vegas and regularly plays home games. In seat 5, 34-year-old Chris Higgins from Failsworth in Manchester. Chris is a butcher by trade. Can he make mincemeat of the opposition tonight? And in seat 6, Alison Cheeseman from Milton Keynes. Alison is an experienced poker player. She's played online for 5 years and regularly plays home games too. Dealing services provided by Marina Kremser and Peter Schmidt from Vienna. And our old friend and tournament director is the referee, Thomas Kremser from the International Poker Federation. Starters, take your marks for this heat of the PartyPoker.com Late Night Poker Ace Tournament. 6 players here playing down to 1, and I'm joined by one of the most successful poker players in the history of this format, British poker ace Simon Aces Trumper. Evening, Simon.
Good evening, Jesse.
Got early action here at this tournament. There's been a raise to 75 from Simon Jones. Blinds, of course, starting at 25 and 25 this heat, Simon. So 75, triple the bet.
Call.
Yeah, that's a standard size raise there from Simon.
Call. And call.
You can see he's got the king-queen, and he's been called in the small blind and the big blind by Gordon and Chris, respectively. They've both got aces. They've got Simon beat at this stage.
Yep.
3 players.
No help on the flop. First action in the small blind. Checked around to the razor.
Simon's going to represent a pair here.
100.
25 years old from Watford. And, well, we've learned one thing about Simon already. He's not afraid to miss the flop and come out betting.
Absolutely.
Pass.
Oh, first pot for Simon on the back of pure aggression. And that's a good sign for this poker player.
Well, that's what you're going to need if you're going to win this heat, so it's a good start for Simon.
Orange chips on this table worth 25 pounds. The red chips 100 pounds each. A lot of shuffling around, jockeying for position. Sean under the gun, first to speak. 25 pounds to call. There's a mere 50 pounds in the pot of the 12,000 pounds on the table. And action here on Simon.
Raise to 75.
Second time raising up. That's from the small blind. Is he trying to give a little tester to Hung, who's picked up the ace-king?
Or re-raise.
Yeah, he's just trying to, you know, see if he can pick up the blinds.
150.
And little information back there. He's going to find out that he's behind.
Because Hung didn't announce the size of the raise before he stuck chips in, it's a string bet, and he'll be forced to make the minimum raise.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is unfortunate for Hung because obviously he's letting Simon in cheaply. He can't pass, and they're going to see a flop.
Boy, Simon had nothing. 9-10, but now he's been priced in. Flop to come.
2 players.
Not the worst flop for Simon. 8 would make him the nut straight.
Well, here's a player who's definitely got some game, and Hung is reacting immediately. He doesn't believe for 1 minute that Simon's hit this. He thinks his ace-king is good.
That's a big bet, and this is a big pot. Oh, Hung will like that card.
And look at him staring intently at Simon there.
Check.
I'll stick into it.
300.
Strong, confident bet there.
300 pounds on Simon. He's tried to bluff twice this pot already. And
Pass.
now he's forced to give it up. Strong hand.
Yeah, absolutely. And we now have a clear chip leader in Hung Luk.
So the first clash, blind against blind, and Hung Luk played like a rock. He was not intimidated by the smooth moves of Simon Jones.
So how do you play Texas Hold'em? Well, the action begins with each player receiving 2 cards face down from the dealer. These are called hole cards. The 2 players to the immediate left of the dealer post 2 compulsory bets, which are known as the blinds. These bets help to get the action going. Play then proceeds in a clockwise direction. With each player having to make a betting decision, they can call or match the bet, raise, which means to put more money in the pot, or they can fold their cards and get right out of there. Once the initial round of betting is over, the dealer reveals the flop. 3 community cards dealt face up in the middle of the table. More betting follows, then comes a 4th card, or the turn card, and a 5th card, known as the river. Players must make the best 5-card poker hand using the 7 cards available. Once the betting is over, the players reveal their cards, and the player with the best hand wins the pot.
Of course, one of the interesting things about these players is we are looking for the British Amateur Champion. And one of the things you'll notice here is if they haven't had any experience of live play, that they've had most of their experience online, is the way they actually handle their cards.
Call.
Some of the players
Call.
will actually just lift it up at the edge of the table. These are players that are used to handling cards. The ones that aren't will actually lift the cards off the table up to their chest. And you'll see this in Chris's play.
A lot of these players learn to play online. That's where they qualified, and that's a great place to learn the game. Gordon here, I think he's just flat
Pass.
called the opening bet
you.
with a pair of 3s, and we'll be 3-way here. Gordon plus the 2 blinds.
3 players.
Check.
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 Check. 100.
Oh, this is good play by Chris. He's limped in an early position, so now he's just trying to represent a hand.
Call.
Pass.
Pass. Chips, please. Thank you. Thanks. 2 players.
Check.
Check.
That's
Check.
a great card for Chris. Flush draw now, plus the pair, and that's given him the nuts, Simon.
50.
That's Sean betting.
Chris is wondering here, what do I do here? Do I raise 100?
Sean looking a bit peaked because he has got 1 pair with 4 clubs on board, and Chris is not shy.
Raised
200
250.
more. He cannot be beat at this stage. King of Clubs making the best hand possible.
Pass.
It's interesting that actually, I mean, the Queen, there could have been a lot more action on that flop, Jesse, couldn't there? The Queen on the turn, they both had one. So, but we didn't see any betting on the turn, and all the action happened on the river.
Yeah, Chris slowed way down. All of a sudden, he had enough to check, didn't he? And then made the nuts on the end.